Welcome back to Lakeside then for the evening session on day 2 of the WDF World Championship. All round 1 games will be completed by the end of play tonight before we head into round 2 tomorrow, where all the seeded players will make their big entrance. If you've been watching all of the sessions so far, you might be wondering why we are starting with a game from the ladies' tournament. Thomas Junghans was due to face David Pallett in the first match, but some great news because David Pallett has become a dad to a baby girl literally today. So he's dashed up back home, birth has happened, mum and baby doing well by all accounts, and he's going to be coming back down tonight. So he'll be facing Thomas Junghans in the last encounter. So we start off with Suzanne Smith versus Victoria Monahan. She won the New Zealand Open and therefore, because it's a gold-rated tournament in the WDF system, got entry straight into this tournament. She's up against Suzanne Smith, who has won 3 times in the WDF before. She is apparently struggling with a bit of dartitis at the moment. We will have to wait and see how badly that does affect her. My name's Dan McCarthy, and I'm joined by Inside the WDF podcast host Andrew Sinclair. Good evening, Andrew. How do you see this one going?
Good evening, Dan. It's an interesting one on paper because it's always difficult with the players from New Zealand because they don't use a lot of live scoring software. So unless they play in a big tournament that does, you don't always know how good they are. You know how good their results are on the WDF circuit, but you don't always know what the standard is going to be like.
43.
And with Suzanne, she's coming into the tournament on some poor form. She's had dartitis in the past and, you know, hasn't been playing too well at the moment. But I think that means it's going to be a fairly even game on paper. But, you know, a lot of eyes on this one because, you know, Victoria's appearance in this championship is fairly noteworthy.
Yeah, absolutely. Trans woman competing in this tournament. It's obviously sparked plenty of debate. But she is here. She is competing in round 1 of the tournament. And already, I am getting the sense from Suzanne that when she's pulling the dart back, she's almost shuffling forward and her arms freezing still. So I really do hope for her sake that, you know, this doesn't trouble her too much in the game. You can see, particularly on the 3rd dart, she's almost walking and the dart hasn't even left her hand.
Yeah, it's a difficult position to be in. And I know, having spoken to her in the past, it's something she had to battle really hard to overcome before. And in 2022, she showed some really good form. She made her Lakeside debut, you know, won title in Switzerland and tasted success before that. You know, and on her day, she's a very, very good player. And she'll be hoping that she can kind of find her best on this occasion and get a win. And, you know, we spoke in previous games about, you know, the family affair of Aaron Turner, Laura Turner, Mike Gillett all being involved. Suzanne's partner, James Hurrell, is one of the favourites of the men's tournament. So, you know, she's got a vested interest here all week. You know, not just her game and her tournament hopes, but, you know, James has got a very good chance of lifting the big one this week.
Victoria wants double 16.
29.
There's 2 attempts and a double miss. Needs to try and set this up.
47. Victoria, you require 16.
Doesn't take as much out of it as she would have liked. Right in the middle of the 8, like throwing a dart through a polo mint.
No score.
And bust the score.
Suzanne, you require 108. $45. Victoria, you require 16. No score.
Well, it's already 7 missed darts and a double for Victoria. Get the sense that there's some jitters in this early stage of the match.
She's left herself 37.
35. Victoria, you require 16. Yeah, that's game short of the first line. Victoria Monahan.
9th time of asking.
Second line, Suzanne the throw first. Game on.
Yeah, there was a lot of nervousness for Victoria. You know, of course, you know, as you mentioned, she's the first transgender to play here at transgender player to play here at the Lakeside. playing a World Championships. Not the first transgender player to play on television. That honour went to Noelyn van Leuven at the PTC Women's World Match Play. But of course, Victoria booked her spot here, you know, some 16 months ago now by winning the New Zealand Open. But for Victoria, knowing her fairly well, this is a lifetime ambition to play on this lakeside stage. You know, Victoria was born in England, you know, grew up with, you know, darts and seeing the lakeside, and to have gone through everything she's gone through in her life and, you know, made a number of monumental changes. To be back here playing on that stage is a huge moment for her, a bucket list item and then some. But of course, with that excitement, with that anticipation, comes a lot of pressure for yourself. And you know, you go into that first leg and you think, you know, if she had lost that first leg, what's that going to do for the mindset for the rest of the game? But she's on the board now, although Suzanne Smith looks a lot more comfortable in this leg than she did in the opener.
28.
Yeah, some of the scoring from Suzanne Smith has been okay so far. Keeping the dart straight at least, rather than veering off course. I think because she's lurching forward a little bit as she's about to release, it's very hard to keep your balance and to keep the dart, the weight of the dart as she wants it.
45.
Yeah, well, she's going to get, in theory, darts out of double in this leg because Victoria's still a long way behind.
50. Suzanne Unicorn, 95.
She's left a bogey number because of that last treble 5.
$63.
Well, that'll do. It leaves double 16. Not usually a preferred target for a left-hander, but it does present an option at least for her.
42. Suzanne Unicorn, 32.
She's certainly got a lot of backing this evening.
Yeah,
she finds it next door.
Second leg. Suzanne Smith.
Suzanne Smith registers her first leg of the tournament.
Yeah, Fallon Sherrock, one of those in the building tonight to support Suzanne Smith. Saw her in the players' bar earlier.
58.
Seemed in good spirits. But yeah, I mean, Suzanne's going to have a lot of support. She's not a million miles away from Buckinghamshire, so not too far away. And of course,
100.
as I say, with her partner James being in action later this week, there's obviously quite a lot of people hoping to see her do well. Lost in the first round last year on her debut against Jo Clements. So very keen
17.
to put the record straight, as it were, this year.
The player that Victoria beat in the final of that New Zealand Open is someone we are going to see over the coming days as a seeded player, Wendy Harper. It was a big scalp for her.
13.
It's actually a very remarkable conclusion to that New Zealand Open final. It was a last leg decider, and Victoria
68.
produced a maximum followed by a 110 out to win the last leg decider, win the title, and of course book a trip to the lakeside. So, you know, as conclusions to matches go, 290 and 6 is pretty good going. Although quite scratchy in this leg from Victoria. Suzanne got a chance to really put a marker down here.
100.
Well, Suzanne's doing okay right now. She's averaging 62, which obviously she'll be hoping to get up, I think, into the 70s. That's probably the aim for a lot of the ladies players in this tournament. Victoria really struggling, sub 50 at the minute.
45.
But talking of Victoria's story, there was
16.
she wrote a comment piece in the Metro today about her kind of journey to being here and the obstacles she's had to overcome in terms of paperwork with the government and darting authorities in New Zealand. And one of the organisations there didn't have any rules on transgender players and opted to actually ban her rather than let her play. So she's had to go through a lot of paperwork to be here. but, you know, she is here now and is hoping that she can, you know, extend this championship run by, you know, taking a win tonight and
63.
Going on to the next round. But, you know, there's a long way to go in this one. And from the start we've seen from both ladies, it could be one that goes the full 3 sets.
66. Suzanne's
got a chance now to break the throw. Tops.
25. Victoria, you require 110.
Bit of a rushed last dart, you feel.
$27. Suzanne, you require 14.
Double 7 now.
No score. Victoria, you
It's
require
probably better
83.
to bust it in that situation than going side on double 7.
14 for the bull.
$43. Suzanne, you require 14.
Chasing double 5.
13.
Turns out people do
Victoria,
miss
you
double 5.
require 14. $20. Suzanne, you require 10. No score. Victoria,
Well, I think it's evident already
20.
that this game is going to be very, very scrappy. And it's more of a case of who can just about hold the nerve.
Victoria Monahan.
It's what Victoria does
Forward,
there.
Suzanne through first. Game on.
Yeah, look of exasperation on Victoria's face there, as though to say, you know,
45.
what is going on with my game. But it's actually one of 3 Kiwis in action this evening. Later on in the women's competition, the final tie of the women's first
55.
round, young Nicole Regnaud, who made a real impression at the Australian Open last year, averaged in excess of 80 when she beat Lisa Ashton. She takes on Anna Forsmark
52.
from Denmark. And then Brian Corbett, a late replacement into the tournament. Have to keep resisting the urge to call him Ronnie. He takes on Leonard Gates, a man many people are looking at as a contender here because of the exploits on the seniors circuit.
Well, the exploits on the seniors circuit, the exploits with Modus, with that 9-darter he hit last week, North American Championship winner with the PDC. I think, without question, of the non-seeded players, he's easily the biggest threat to win the title. Still some people's favourites as Victoria
125.
narrowly misses out on the first maximum of the game.
$55.
It's actually talking to Victoria this morning. She was saying that she'd had a real drama getting her shirts here. She tried to order them back in New Zealand. The order was delayed, missed them. They then had to reorder them, and she managed to get a backup option. One of the orders that came here, express delivery, arrived, and they were 4 sizes too big. And she sort of said, I can't go up there. I look like I'm wearing a tent. So the other ones came. They were the right size, and they're the ones she's wearing. They're the ones with the Pride colours on display, obviously, as well as her sponsors and the WDF tournament sponsors as well. Yeah, shirt drama is not what you need.
No.
Just like poor Liam Mandel-Lawrence earlier.
Yeah, clearly his suitcase hasn't arrived. He wasn't playing with his own darts. He was playing with a very rudimentary blue polo shirt, which I'm assuming he'll have had to go out and buy at some point.
Probably the stand just behind us.
Yeah.
Victoria, 136.
I know with Liam, he tried Anthony Dundas' darts. They weren't quite right.
No.
Tried Jim Widmeyer's and said, you know what they'll do. They worked for you, and they worked for him as well.
28. Suzanne require 167.
Now just imagine if she can land this. It would actually be a tournament record, wouldn't it? Because that's still held by Veronica Ehash from last year when she played Bo Greaves, the only lady to take a set off Greaves last year.
Not able to stay for that single 19. 44 left. 12 for top. No. Yeah, 12 for double 16. 12 for tops. There's Jose de Souza maths for me there. You never know I had A-star A-level maths, would you?
54, Victoria required 32.
This for the first set.
No score.
Wide of the mark.
Suzanne requires 68.
$13 would give her a dart at tops.
Or 17 for double 18. Really steadying herself.
15.
It doesn't work.
Victoria
She drags it inside.
32.
Double 4.
24. Suzanne
Doesn't find it.
18.
It's only 2 from 19 on the doubles for Victoria.
Suzanne
takes a chance.
Suzanne.
So we go to a decider in this first set.
Fifth place, Victoria, the field first. Game on.
Yeah, the doubles have not been kind to either woman so far in this game, which does tend to make you think that we might be going
45.
to all the way to a third set, as we have done a few times already today and yesterday. Only had one game that's gone every leg, and that was Victoria's compatriot Johnny Tarter when he potentially snatched a victory from Sean McDonald, that brilliant 101 finish in the last leg.
Yeah, he hit some amazing shots at key times, Johnny Tarter. The 171 in the first set, the 177 in the penultimate leg, and then the 101 to win the match against McDonald, averaging about 8 points fewer. But, as Scott Mitchell made clear to me last night, they don't put averages on trophies.
41.
No, Martin Adams also told me something once about averages, although that's probably not safe for me to repeat on air, so that'll be one I can tell you later on. But similar sentiment.
85.
It's been largely the case in this game so far, at least from my perspective, that when Victoria's first start has landed where she wants it to go, it tends to have been a strong visit. Whereas if the first one was a bit loose, it tends to be that there's some overcorrecting going on and, you know, range isn't found.
125.
A couple of times now where she's threatened the max, but then veered off course with the last dart.
100.
This has been a strong leg from Suzanne. Looking to complete it in 6 visits to the board.
50. Suzanne required 96.
'16 would leave tops.
56. Victoria required 142.
This would be massive. It's not quite there. 2 of those would have given her a shot at tops. 74 left.
Well, like Victoria's maths was a bit awry
82.
there.
Suzanne required 40.
For a break and the set.
Oh, she can't do it now.
She looked revolted by that.
8. Victoria requires 16.
I think the technical term is blowing a raspberry. Yeah.
20.
But she has another chance.
32.
And she finds it. First set goes to Suzanne Smith.
Second set, first line. It's Suzanne the field first. Game on.
So it is advantage to the English woman.
55. 60. 45. 24.
There's just so little consistency with Monahan's darts right now. She can throw 2 darts plumbing the treble, and then third one might come short. But then some of the scoring visits that are clearly aimed at treble 20, they're even drifting into the 18s and 12s on occasions.
Yeah, and some of that probably, well, I would imagine a large part of that is nerves, the sense of occasion. Been building up to this for 16 months since she qualified, so there's a lot of time to think. And, you know, of course,
16.
you know, Victoria, with the position that she is in, and, you know, her status and, you know, being the first transgender player to play here, with that, there comes a lot of additional pressure and, you know, pressure from outside sources, social media and the rest of it. But, no, I mentioned it earlier, that piece in the Metro today, that the headline basically was, I'm not going to let, you know, transphobia stop me from, you know, living my dream. And I say fair play to her.
Yeah, I think you've got to say that she's in a very unenviable position, because obviously this appearance is going to come with scrutiny, it's going to come with questions, it's going to come with some wondering whether she should be even here at all. But, you know, the rules say she can play, so that's how it is. Don't blame the player, blame the game. You know
Exactly.
What I mean? 14. Suzanne, Graaf, 113.
Good setup. Well clear. Victoria's only just about half the 501 after 18 darts.
100.
He does get to a finish now, but Suzanne Smith has pinned this once already. And she does it again, bottom corner.
Suzanne Smith.
If it was a penalty kick, we'd be saying perfect placement.
That moment to recompose there seemed to help Victoria a little bit. The second up very wayward into the big 5, but
33.
managed to find herself and find that second treble. Really needs to get that break back, otherwise she's staring down the barrel of a
85.
disappointing exit from the tournament from her perspective. Of course, the first win here for Suzanne.
30.
Which would, you know, given her recent form and you know, the struggles we've seen with her action, would undoubtedly give her confidence a massive boost. You know, proving that she can come up there and do it and play
100.
closer to her best than perhaps she expected she might have done.
Yeah, we talk about the poor form, but she still
60.
has reached quarterfinals in tournaments lately. The Bruges Open, the Belfry Open, the Antwerp Open. So she is at least winning games in these
85.
events.
Yeah, she's a long way behind in this leg, but obviously is in a position of strength in this game.
60.
And in actuality, this is a lot longer than most of the ladies play in the floor games. So the more she can play on this stage is probably actually going to be a benefit in terms of getting the arm going and kind of finding that consistent line and length and action. So,
85.
and I think we saw that in the first set. 65. As the game went on, the rhythm was there, the scoring started to improve, certainly in terms of consistency.
Does her best impression of Gerwyn Price there, dropping the dart.
30.
And once again, doesn't keep the dart straight down the line. Lucky that Suzanne's had an off leg.
35.
Double 16.
Let's keep showing
That's more clinical.
Yeah, that's most clinical she's been in the entire game.
Come on.
And it's that consistency of scoring and clinicality on the doubles that
26.
she's going to have to find if she wants to overcome the deficit she currently finds herself in.
100.
And when we spoke about this last night, when Lorraine Hyde came from behind to beat Laura Turner, it's only an incremental improvement that you need to start turning those legs where you just miss out to those that you just win. And
85.
suddenly, in a set format, you're back on level terms or you're ahead. As we almost saw with Kim Mitchell this afternoon. Nearly won the game. The only time she would have been ahead would have been at the finishing line.
60.
Yep. It's always about where you finish, not where you start.
$121.
All she needs to do is say, come on, and then the dart goes in the treble 20.
A little bit more venom on that last one. Seemed to do the trick.
140.
I think she can be really proud of her performance, Suzanne Smith, given the well-documented struggles with the action. I mean, still finding some big scores. I don't think the scoring phase of the game has been too bad. It's just the lack of darts that have hit the double.
Yeah, it's been quite consistent, 60s, 85s, tons, the odd 140 in there.
66.
And generally, the grouping has been quite good. There's been a couple of loose ones, yes, but by and large, the grouping has been quite good. It's just that the setup shots and the finishes haven't always been top of the tree.
32. Victoria Unicorn 158. $25. Suzanne Unicorn 24.
Double six. No darts player likes double three.
18.
Unless you're Richard Ashdown.
Victoria Unicorn 133.
Yeah, he's still got to throw up, hasn't he?
No comment.
83. Suzanne Unicorn 6.
Steady amount of pressure. I wonder if she'll look to try and split this.
Yeah,
no, she doesn't need to.
Suzanne Smith.
Suzanne Smith, a leg away from victory. She'll have to break the Victoria throw, but she is well in command.
60.
Well, you can tell Victoria's not been happy with the performance because the eye rolling has been off the charts.
41.
Yeah, the berating, the exasperation, yeah.
Yeah, if we get a new stat in darts, expected eye rolls, I think Victoria would top that.
60.
But at the same time, I think she will be able to look back on this game, however it ends, and know that
81.
she's had chances in most legs. And, a little bit more clinical on those doubles, a little bit more experience of stage games as she is now.
39.
I think, she's not a million miles away, because when the darts have been close, and, there have been some good scoring visits there,
52.
and there was that 20 dart leg. So there's been some positive signs, and I think she'll be able to take comfort from those. But, the proverbial fat lady hasn't sung yet.
85. $125.
Right back in this now. Tori's going to have to go searching for the ball first. think that's in the 25, yeah, it was.
52. Suzanne, you require 127.
Treble 19. She'll go back up and try and leave tops.
47. Victoria, you require 80.
It's 80 apiece. Has to be 25 and bull now, surely. And she's got the 25. She doesn't get the bull.
Suzanne, you require 80.
Sometimes you do just have to laugh.
If you can't laugh, you'll cry. So
shot a double 2.
39. Suzanne, you require 40.
Unfortunately made a mess of that, and that could be curtains for Victoria. And place in the second round.
For a first Lakeside win. Double 15.
Victoria, you require
well,
2.
I'd say it's better to miss there than go inside at least.
Yeah.
And it's something. Madhouse then for Victoria.
No score. Suzanne, you require 10.
Has to split. Double 2.
8.
She goes inside as well. And both players
Victoria,
are left on
you
double 1.
require 2.
That's a clutch of match starts now for Suzanne.
Yeah, that's been short in the forward.
She's been punished.
Victoria Morgan.
Now,
Fifth line, Suzanne through first.
and now we're where we were in the first set. 2-all. Both players regretting a number of missed doubles, and you get the sense it could go either way.
Yeah, Suzanne has the advantage of throw, but I'm not really sure how much of an advantage that's going to be, to be honest.
No.
'85.
Third straight dart there from Monahan would have been a big help in this leg, but especially with Suzanne not having the strongest of starts.
45.
I mean, I spoke earlier about Australia being a fantastic supporter of the WDF system. New Zealand absolutely are as well.
40.
You know, they run a number of tournaments. New Zealand Open is, to be honest, the New Zealand Women's Open is one of the biggest female tournaments outside of Europe.
100.
I believe the year Victoria won, and this year was close to 100 entries, in excess of 100 entries, which, to be fair, is only really bettered by the Dutch Open
30.
and matched by, say, the British Open, the Welsh Open, or some of the women's series. So it was a big tournament for Victoria to win, and you know, this year's New Zealand Open
16.
has actually guaranteed us a debutant for next year already. Marianne Tainaki won this year, played some fantastic darts, and actually beat Kim Mitchell of Australia in the final. So
45.
but I think for Victoria, this is the first time she's travelled to play darts overseas since, I think it was 2012. I was talking earlier because that tournament, 2012, a tournament on the Gold Coast in Australia, played against Mayumi Uchi, who saw in action earlier today.
95.
And the losing end against Kirsty Hutchinson.
Yeah, I thought Kirsty played well in that game. Scoring was excellent.
90.
And that was an excellent bullseye to guarantee a finish.
Her roaring was on form as well.
Absolutely.
55.
If only we had a decibelometer by the stage. Treble 15. Leaves tops. So close. That would have been an unbelievable way to go and win the game.
151. Suzanne, you require 40.
One match dart has been and gone. double 16.
24. Victoria Unicorn 91. Six. Suzanne Unicorn 16.
Also hope to come back because that will be exiting the tournament with a bit of a whimper. Score of 6. But she isn't going to come back because Suzanne Smith clearly vocalising her absolute delight in winning her first ever game on this lakeside stage. It wasn't a pretty game by any stretch of the imagination, but there were some encouraging signs from Suzanne in terms of the scoring. She had enough to defeat the New Zealand Open champion Victoria Monahan, who departs stage left without victory. It is Suzanne Smith who goes through to round 2, and she will face Rhian O'Sullivan. Coming up next after the break, we return to the men's tournament with Slovenia's Benjamin Pratnemer. He faces David Kirwan.
This program is brought to you by Benji Marine Engine Repair and Trading, specialized in Wärtsilä engines with a 24-hour-a-day, high-quality, worldwide service. And by Hemeco Storage Systems, your one-stop storage system solution with over 100 years of experience. The 45th annual Win More Fleetwood Memorial Las Vegas Open will be held from January 19th till the 21st. Sin City welcomes you to come and play in the entertainment capital of the world. Both men's and women's champions will win places at the 2024 WDF World Championships. The Romanian Darts Festival is from January the 26th till January the 28th. Come join the party in Bucharest. Register to play by Wednesday the 24th of January. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is held from February 1st till February 4th. Registration is open until January the 16th. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is by far the largest darts party in the world that you should not miss. And the men's and women's champions go to the Lakeside in December 2024. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 31st till June the 2nd. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in the most beautiful surroundings you'll find in Europe. The Swedish Open and Masters is held from August 16th till 18th, a popular tournament for many of Europe's best aerosmiths. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thank you to our tournament sponsors Winmore, A&G Travel Group, iDarts, Dart Connect, CT1 and Quiff.
We now move back into the men's competition here at the 2023 CT1 WDF Lakeside World Championship. And we welcome to the stage a man making his Lakeside World Championship debut. Swiss Open, Romanian Classic and Bruges Open quarter-finalist, the British Classic and Scottish Open semi-finalist. From Scotland, the Claymore, Davy Kirwan! His opponent also makes his Lakeside World Championship debut, former Slovenia Open and Balaton Darts Masters champion, the reigning Slovak Masters and World Open champion, from Slovenia, the star, Benjamin Pratnemer!
We can tick off another nationality to enter the Lakeside fray. Not Scotland, of course. We've seen plenty of those over the years. If you weren't aware of what nationality Davy Kirwan was before that walk-on, I think you're going to be pretty sure now. Benjamin Pratnemer, the Slovenian player, man who's won a couple of titles on the WDF circuit. In fact, more than a couple. He's the defending Slovak Masters champion. He won in his home country back in 2021. A World Open winner as well. Someone who's made an appearance at the PDC World Championship. He was knocked out in round one of that game. You'll be hoping to go a little bit further here at Lakeside. A physiotherapist by profession. And he comes up against Davy Kirwan, who at 51 years old is making his Lakeside bow, proving that darts is a sport where age is no barrier whatsoever. If you've got 3 darts in your hand, you've got good coordination, you have got a chance. What he's hoping to do, though, is win his very first WDF tournament. And what a way it would be to win as well.
It's David to throw first.
Davy will get things underway. Andrew's still alongside me, and Andrew, you've seen plenty of Benjamin Pratnemer, and we know from what we've seen, the little bits we have, that he's a deliberate player, but he's a talented player as well. He's got ability, and he could be a bit of a spoiler for any player because of that pace he operates with.
Yes, he's a very difficult player to come up against. There is that more deliberate pace, but he is also a big power scorer as well.
81.
You know, there was a tournament he won last year in Hungary. I think it was the Balaton Darts Masters. And the final, I think, was 105 average. He's a very, very capable player. And he's actually heavily involved with the organisation of tournaments and competitions in his native Slovenia. That first Slovenian Open that took place in 2021, Benjamin was actually really one of the driving forces behind getting that tournament on the map, making Slovenia a WDF member and running that competition. I remember talking to him at the time, and he said, the numbers weren't quite as good as I wanted them to be, but it was fantastic to have a tournament in his home country.
100.
Obviously a little bit better that he won it as well. Not quite so lucky this time. I think he lost to Matthew Edgar. But, you know, he's a very talented player, Benjamin, and particularly in the longer form games, I think he's going to be a real threat. But cutthroat format, best of 3 set encounter, you've got to get going, and David Kirwan seems to be the one who's got going a lot quicker in this first set.
Certainly has. He's left tops after 12. A very handy start for the man they nicknamed Claymore. I'm looking to you for that.
I actually don't know the origins of that one. I know Davies trained with the Royal Military Police. At least I believe he was with the Royal Military Police. And he actually got started on darts touring with Ross Montgomery. Obviously a veteran of this Lakeside stage. Recently lost his PDC tour card, but Davey got his big break sort of touring with Ross, doing bits and pieces with Ross, and then, you know, the last couple of years he's really started doing the WDF circuit. Yet to win a title, but a number of semi-finals, and reached one very recently at the Irish Open, when he played some fantastic darts all day. Ultimately ran out of steam a little bit in the semi-finals, but was a good indicator of his form. And there was a similar story at the World Cup in Denmark back in September, where, you know, Davey was, I don't think I've ever seen a man happier to get picked for his country than Davey getting picked for Scotland this year. It's one of his big goals, and to achieve that, I know he was massively proud. And to play at that World Cup, he did quite well in the singles. I think it was the last 16 for him in the end. But he reached the final of the men's pairs alongside Danny Truman. And, OK, they came a little bit short in the final against Ben Robb and Hopai Puha. But to see Davey's face when he won that silver medal was an image that will stick with me, because he was, for a big guy, he was very, very emotional. And he's continued that kind of good form, good vibes into this tournament. A 15 darter in the first leg and back-to-back tons in this one.
Yeah, you mentioned that tournament a few weeks ago in the Irish Open. Lost out to Ryan Hogarth, 5-3 scoreline. He averaged mid-80s pretty much for the whole day of that tournament. So, up to Benjamin to try and match that or better it.
But no, I mean, Davey's a very funny bloke if you get to talk to him, get to spend any time with him. He's a big Celtic fan. He'll be happy that they won earlier today. But yeah, and I mean, we had a chat at the World Cup, and he actually, you know, I said to him, what's the goal for you at Lakeside? Because I'd said that to a few different players, and, you know, for say Peter Machin, who's playing tomorrow, Peter said to me, you know what, I just want to win a game. I've never been there before. Win a game, and anything after that's a bonus. Davey said, I'm coming to win it. I'm coming to win the whole thing. And I was like, oh, OK, that's, you know, you're really confident.
145.
125.
Just dips below.
He'd have had every right to be if he'd taken that out. But he said, you know, I'm here to win it. It worked for Neil Duff last year. He told everyone before he came that he was going to win it, and he did. And Davey's confident it's going to work for him as well. But, you know, we're 1-1 in this first set now. 17 darter for the Slovenian there, Benjamin Pratnemer. But yeah, I mean, Davey's a confident guy. He believes, you know, he knows that he deserves to be here, belongs on this stage, and he's a very, very capable player. Showed that on the tour, and he showed that in those appearances for Scotland this year, the British Internationals. I think he won both of his games. Did all right at the Six Nations, and of course the World Cup games I've already mentioned as well.
Yeah, I noticed the scoreboard has gone with the full formal name, David. I think he's a Davey, isn't he?
He's very much a Davey, yes.
Been a good start from Davey.
140.
Does not look overawed, which is always a very good sign when you are making your World Championship debut on one of the biggest stages there is in darts.
I spoke to him in the practice room earlier, Dave, and I said, you know, how you feeling? Are you ready for this game tonight? And he went, well, practice is going well, but I've got to do it on the stage first. And so far, what he was doing on the practice board is what he's doing on the stage here. Some very impressive stuff from the Glaswegian so far today.
Yeah, it's far easier said than done, but you've just got to try and bring that practice board game to the big stage, almost try and visualise it as a practice board. Don't look behind and see all the fans there and think, oh, I've got to do a bit more to impress them. Might start trying a little bit too hard.
Yeah, there's a number of Scots in this year's tournament. We saw one of them in action yesterday. Sean McDonald coming up a little bit short, but of course Lorraine Hyde in the women's competition, but a number of Scottish players still to come. Mark Barilli, seeded player, and of course Gary Stone, who a lot of people are looking at as a good value contender for this year's tournament. I think rightfully so. Gary's a very big scorer, and when he's got his head in the game, he's a tough man to stop. But you know, as I said, Davey's backing himself to go all the way.
Another treble 19 would have left double 18. A bit loose on the last dart, but at least it does leave him a very manageable 2-darter.
97. David requires 65.
Referee Charlie Corstefin going for the formal David as well.
Well, no wonder he's going formal. Look at the way he's dressed.
55.
That's a slip.
Benjamin requires 79.
Double 11. It's an over-adjustment.
68. David requires 10.
Steely concentration on the face of David Kirwan.
Game shot the third leg. David Kirwan.
Giving it gave it the little finger point as well to the right hand side.
Almost like Johnny Clayton.
Very smooth barrels for Benjamin. I'm aware I've not got my glasses on, but
43.
they look very, very smooth.
Yeah, when I see players playing with those kinds of darts, I often wonder how they become as good as they are, because it sounds like an obvious thing to say, but how do they not slip out of the hand?
100.
Much more of a standard set that Davy Kirwan goes with.
Yeah, he's one of a number of players with backing from L-Style in this tournament, Davy Kirwan. See the badge there on his shirt. It's not a learner plate. Not a learner plate, no worries there. But
well, I mean, it is his first appearance on stage, so it could be a learner plate.
43.
I don't think I'd fancy my chances against him in a bar fight.
No. No. He's a very entertaining man, Davy Kirwan.
100.
Mind you, if I did get in a bar fight with him, Benjamin could always
nurse you back to health.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, interesting career Benjamin has. You mentioned to me the other day that he is a fully qualified physiotherapist. He's still practicing?
I don't know that he actually is at the moment, but that's certainly what his qualifications are in. Of course, he would love to be a full-time professional darts player and to make some history for Slovenia, but certainly is fully
60.
qualified and has practiced previously. I'm not sure if he's still doing that. I'll have to have a word with him later. But yeah, got a bit of a backache, so he might be able to have a look at me.
137.
He's a very good player, Benjamin. Very good player. Not a lot phases him. I think it was, I think it was the Slovak Open earlier this year. He played Liam Mandel Lawrence in the final.
David to require 81.
And I think he was 4-0 down, pulled it back to 4-all, and then ended up losing 5-4. But I'm sure, as you can imagine, was a very deliberate, methodical game, that one.
Yeah.
Stage referee on that occasion, Mr. Nick Rolls.
I'm sure he enjoyed every minute of it.
69.
That's a game he remembers very fondly, as he's told me several times. I think he missed most of the Carabao Cup final.
Well, Davey is going to come back to try and tidy up double six to win the first set.
59.
Just a quick reminder, if you're tuning in for the first time, it is first to 2 sets and there are no breaks. Double three.
9. Benjamin, you require
Probably
80.
the least favourite scoreline that a darts player likes beside their name is 3. That's what I imagine anyway. I've not surveyed them. This would be a bit of a steal.
40.
But it grazes the top wire.
David, you require 3.
He's got the big one.
Game shot on the first set. David Kirwan.
First set goes the way of the
Second set,
Scotsman.
first leg. It's Benjamin to throw first. Game on.
The reward for the winner is tying against the 7th seed Chris Landman.
Should be a real clash of styles if Benjamin's to progress. Chris, probably, I would say, the fastest man in this tournament. We've seen a couple of contenders to that throne with Moreno, Blom, Arjen Konteman, although maybe Danny Lauby, the way he's playing at the moment, Trotter's nightmare.
Yeah, I'd probably say Danny Lauby's a little bit quicker, but Landman is very, very quick himself. And he's impressed across not just the WDF, but the PDC as well. He's often been a Challenge Tour filler-in player on the Pro Tours, and he actually reached a final earlier this year, lost to Krzysztof Ratajski, former World Masters winner.
$93. $95.
Trying to work out what the logo on the back of Benjamin's shirt reminds me of. Is it the Converse logo?
Yeah, well, I'll have a look when
58.
the camera pans to it. Well, I'll have a look when he retrieves his darts.
It's when you want a left-hander. And you could have had a good nosy. I'm sure that's what it's modelled on.
60.
Yeah, I think you're right. Either that or Nuki Brown.
Well, that was the other thing
and I
was
don't think
thinking
it'll
of.
be Nuki Brown.
You never know, they might export to Ljubljana.
58.
I don't know that they
Benjamin,
do.
you require
No.
106.
Might have to go to
I
next
didn't even
year's
think they
Slovenia
exported
Open to
outside
check.
the northeast.
They had it when I was at university in Scotland, so it at least crossed over the border, although admittedly that wasn't that far.
Double 16.
Game
The
shot
106
first
checkout
leg.
for Benjamin Pratnemer.
Benjamin Pratnemer. Second leg, it's David to throw first.
And he
Game
is
on.
more clinical on the doubles as it stands. 2 from 5. Kirwan's already missed 11
100.
darts at a double.
Yeah, Benjamin going with the interesting option of a red T-shirt underneath his
60.
red playing shirt. I'm a big fan of that look.
Well, we are tending to see more and more these days. I know he's not doing it, but you see players wearing the undersleeve or the skin. I don't really know what the technical term for it is, but it's not just for extra warmth. Apparently, it keeps the muscles a little bit. I mean, you can tell I'm babbling on here. I've no idea what it does, but it is something muscular.
Well, yeah. I mean, if anyone on that stage is going to know, it's probably going to be Benjamin Pratnemer. But no, I mean, the players do wear those compression sleeves. I mean, Mayumi Uchi did earlier on today. A lot of the Japanese players do, but Paula Murphy did yesterday in her game with Almudena Fajardo.
41.
Actually, I was talking to Paula afterwards, and she was saying that part of it was to kind of keep her arms straight and rigid. And last time she was here, she'd sort of felt she'd overheated and kind of tactically got it all wrong. But this time it was cold. She thought, oh, you know, I'll benefit. And it got to the final set against Almudena, and she was like, oh, I feel like I'm starting to sweat here. Maybe I'll take the sleeve off. And then went, no. It's working so far. I'll keep it on. And yeah, that booked her a spot in the second round. So yeah, I mean, darts as a sport is innovating all the time with technology.
92.
And obviously you've seen, you know, the slightly comical shoes that are, you know, shaped for the hockey and whatever. Players are always looking for that extra 1%. And I think it's a a sign of how far the sport has come from its origins.
Well, you look at coaching as well. I mean, 20 years ago, if you said to someone or gave the idea of coaching, you'd say, well, darts is just about picking them up, seeing how they feel and throwing them. But you've got these days the likes of Wayne Mardle, Glenn Durrant, who has been coaching Kirsty Hutchinson, Matthew Edgar, Paul Nicholson, all of them giving coaching a go.
Exactly, and it's not just necessarily coaching on the dartboard. There's also a number of players work with sports psychologists, psychotherapists. So Neil Duff, who won here last year, he worked with a Northern Irish, I think he's a hypnotherapist or psychotherapist, Stephen McKibben, who actually worked with Scott Mitchell when he won the World Championship. You know, Stephen was the man who coached Scott Mitchell's throw and walk back from the oche routine. You know, Scott famously counting the number of steps to and from the oche every time. You know, that came from those sessions with Stephen after Scott had a number of first-round exits here. And Neil, before last year's tournament, worked with Stephen on kind of self-belief, self-confidence, manifesting your destiny, and that's what Neil did last year. You know, it comes full circle to what I was saying about Mr. Kirwan before. Neil said it last year, kind of dream, conceive, believe, achieve. It worked for Neil, and, you know, of course all players do that, but, I mean, last year Neil, anyone who spoke to him told them, I'm winning that title.
Benjamin Pratnemer wants double 16, just like Neil Duff wanted the title.
No score.
He's not going to get it. 3 missed darts apiece in this leg. After a very quick start, beginning to get scrappy. Double 2.
Game shot the second leg.
Finally gets it.
Third leg, it's Benjamin to throw first. Game on.
Just cranking the pressure up on Benjamin Pratnemer.
Yeah, I know many people saw Benjamin as a contender to win the Eastern European qualifier for the PDC World Championship just over a week ago, but he opted to give that a miss because he wanted to focus his preparations on his Lakeside debut in a tournament where he feels he can make a really deep run, but he's got a lot of work to do in this one because, you know, Davy Kirwan's come to play and he's playing very well so far.
Yeah, that particular qualifier was won by Krzysztof Chuk against the man who won the very first game here this weekend in Sebastian Białecki. And had Białecki won, we'd have graced an appearance from Paul Lim.
That would have been special.
Yeah.
But he's well on course to qualify next year, though, and I know he's very determined to do so. So, yes, having kind of heard people who've spoken to Paul, he was disappointed to just miss out this time. He actually went to the Malaysian Open at the start of October in the hopes of picking up the ranking points he needed, and unfortunately came a little bit unstuck in both of those tournaments. Early exits, didn't get the points he needed, but he's in a strong position for 2024, and yeah, what a moment it'd be to see him back on that Lakeside stage all those years after that magical 9-darter.
40.
Yeah, I mentioned Davy's age as we welcomed him onto the stage, 51, but Paul Lim in his 70s now, isn't he? I believe.
But
if he's not, he's close.
It's close. I think he was 67 when he played in his last PDC World Championship, so it's probably not a million mark. Maybe 69. I don't think he's actually hit the big 7-0 yet.
Yeah, he turned 70 in January, so he's not far off.
Yeah, so becoming
amazing
record. Coming up
71.
Coming up 71 if he got the opportunity to play here on the Lakeside stage here in Frimley Green next year. Well, this would be something special as well if David Kent now.
Yeah, it would have been the biggest checkout of the tournament so far. Still belongs to Rhys Colley, though. It was a match-winning shot he got against David Prins. Treble 19 would leave the ball. It's a huge visit coming up this for Kirwan. Could be a break of throw, and then
58.
he could run away with this last leg,
70.
take the match, and advance into round 2. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Still got to do the business, but he's given himself a great chance.
Pushes the wire with that first one, so we'll go for double 4.
66. Benjamin requires 68.
Double 4. 2 bites at it. Needed both, but he uses it second time.
Full play, it's David to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, Benjamin's partner, I spotted her in the practice room earlier. She had a rather fetching jester's hat in the Slovenian colours, and I felt the overwhelming urge
60.
to ask her to borrow it, but unfortunately my Slovenian doesn't quite pass muster, so I sort of gave her a smile and a wave and went to get me dinner instead. Maybe later, who knows.
59.
But I mentioned to you yesterday, you know, some of the answers in the programme. Players were quite amusing. Dita Hedman, her favourite Lakeside player, is anyone she can beat. David Kirwan, I asked him a question to that effect. Maybe a little bit of a niche reference or something. I said, Davey, if someone could play you in a film of your life, who would you want it to be? And he said, well, because there's a passing resemblance between the two of us, he said the Scottish comedian Ford Kiernan, who star of Scottish comedy Still Game. There is more than a passing resemblance, and I have to admit, Davies' Ford Kiernan impression had me in stitches at the World Cup in Denmark. So
96.
And I have to admit that reference has gone sailing above my head.
Yeah. Well, that'd be a bit of bedtime research for you. Potentially ahead of Davies' next game in the tournament.
100. $98. David to require 108.
Double 16.
Game
It's parity in this fourth leg, in this set.
Fifth leg, it's Benjamin to
And now it is ultimate pressure on Benjamin Pratnemer.
Yeah, we saw a big finish to start the set with Benjamin taking out the 106. Davey going a little bit better there with the 108. He's playing some good darts, and that big finger point came out again after that leg. I wonder what we'll be seeing potentially if this one goes in the Claymore's favour as well.
100.
Well, actually, years ago, before Davey was actually playing regularly on the tour,
85.
I actually marked for Davey in a Riley's qualifier for the UK Open, a really competitive one up in Scotland in Greenock, which was eventually won by Mark Barilli, who we'll see later this week. But yeah, I marked for Davey in the early rounds. On that day, he was sporting a very fetching Prostate Cancer UK shirt with Kirwan on the back. But yeah, Mark went on to win that day. Remarkable performance in more ways than one, but yeah, 95 average I think it was for Mark that day.
Where did Davey finish?
I think it was quarterfinals, the last 16 that day, but I mean, as a player, he's come on massively since then. He was actually a late starter in darts. It all started when he started his police training up in Scotland. So it wasn't he didn't play I thought he played a little bit as a boy, but properly, it was when he started that training, and it was sort of what can you do in your downtime? Well, as a dartboard, you get practice in, and he realised he was
99.
quite good, and then kind of went through that pathway of playing pubs, playing local leagues, and as I say, he then started doing a few bits and pieces with Ross Montgomery. So it's really been a late blooming for him, and now he's had a magical year,
58.
making his Scotland debut, winning a World Cup medal in the pairs, and now playing here at the Lakeside, and potentially been 103 points away from spot in the second round.
That is unless, I was going to say unless Benjamin Pratnemer could take out 117, but he's not going
81.
to. So, for a dream debut on the Lakeside stage, Davy Kirwan, 103 points away from a battle with Chris Landman. That's the difficult part done. Double 16. Lakeside is almost silent. Davy Kirwan gets the job done.
Davy Kirwan!
Benjamin Pratnemer can only stand there and shake his hand. It was a really good performance from the Scotsman. He did not look flustered by the occasion, and he showcased his real class in those last two legs. Back-to-back ton-plus checkouts, first start in hand. Davy Kirwan is through. He will face Chris Landman in the next round. But coming up after this short break, we have got a blockbuster clash with one of the men of the moment, Leonard Gates. He's up against New Zealand's Brian Corbett.
This program is brought to you by Benji Marine Engine Repair and Trading. Specialized in Wärtsilä engines with a 24-hour-a-day, high-quality, worldwide service. And by Hemeco Storage Systems, your one-stop storage system solution with over 100 years of experience. The 45th annual Win More Fleetwood Memorial Las Vegas Open will be held from January 19th till the 21st. Sin City welcomes you to come and play in the entertainment capital of the world. Both men's and women's champions will win places at the 2024 WDF World Championships. The Romanian Darts Festival is from January the 26th till January the 28th. Come join the party in Bucharest. Register to play by Wednesday the 24th of January. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is held from February 1st till February 4th. Registration is open until January the 16th. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is by far the largest darts party in the world that you should not miss. And the men's and women's champions go to the Lakeside in December 2024. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 31st till June the 2nd. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in the most beautiful surroundings you'll find in Europe. The Swedish Open and Masters is held from August 16th till 18th. A popular tournament for many of Europe's best aerosmiths. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thank you to our tournament sponsors Win More, A&G Travel Group, iDarts, Dart Connect, CT1 and Quiff.
2023 CT1 WDF Lakeside World Championship. And we welcome to the stage a man making his Lakeside World Championship debut. Semi-finalist at the Canterbury Open, the New Zealand Masters, North Island Masters and New Zealand Open this year. From New Zealand, Brother B, Brian Corbett. His opponent is the reigning World Seniors Masters, World Seniors Match Play and World Seniors Champion of Champions from the United States of America, Soldier Leonard Gates.
Born entertainer, isn't he? Leonard Gates has got a particularly special gift. He can entertain a darts crowd even before he's taken to the hockey. But it is his darts that have been doing the entertaining for the past year, 18 months or so. A dominant player on the World Senior Circuit, winning 3 of their big major titles. He won the North America Championship in the PDC last year. He has won countless titles in the WDF on the North America circuit, including very recently as well in October, winner of the fantastically named Hedgehog Hellraiser Trophy against Eric Gregory. Leonard Gates is going to take a lot of the attention, but it takes 2 for a tungsten tussle, and Brian Corbett of New Zealand is looking to cause the upset of the tournament so far. Another player who was a late replacement due to other players pulling out. He reached a few semi-finals down under in the past.
First leg, it's Leonard to
but
go
this
first.
would be
Game on.
a massive turn-up for the Bucks if he was able to win against a man who hit a 9-dart leg recently as last week in the Modus Super Series against Martin Thomas. He got to Saturday's finals night when he was beaten in the last leg decider by Chaz Barstow. The second time that's happened to him in that particular tournament.
60.
And even though he's starting in the first round, he's not a seeded player.
140.
He is, according to quite a lot of onlookers, the favourite for this tournament. He and Andy Bartons could face each other in the final, and they're probably the two that have been spoken about the most.
100.
If Leonard Gates turns up and plays something close to his A game, no disrespect is intended to Brian, but this 59. Should be over pretty quickly. He had averages north of 110 when he played in Modus last week, so
100.
it's not as if he has to look back too far for a really good performance.
$140.
Highest average of the tournament so far was recorded by
Leonard, you require
Jarno
62.
Bottenberg this afternoon. 91.7. I think Leonard might be looking to trouble that. He's got 44 left. Now this is where he can let himself down with the counting, with the mathematical errors. But there's no error there.
The first leg, Leonard Gates.
15 darter to start things.
Second leg is Brian to throw first. Game on.
I'm sure when Brian Corbett looked at the draw, he'll have done a big cartoonish gulp.
121.
An extremely heavy scorer
100.
when he is playing his A game is Corbett.
$41.
I mentioned the Hedgehog Hellraiser title that Leonard Gates has won. Just a couple more to take you through. The Which City Open, the Choo Choo Classic,
59.
the Metroplex Open, the Shoot for the Moon. If you want a funky name tournament, just hop across the pond to the United States.
99. $58. $180.
Well, it is Brian that finds the game's first maximum. And I do not want to be accused of doing him disservice, but
140.
he's never
Brian,
reached
you
a final
60.
in the WDF. Perennial semi-finalist. But he's looking to get back on level terms. And that's a 15 darter of his own.
Leg, Brian Corbett. Third leg, it's Leonard to throw first. Game on. $99. $100.
Here's a player, Leonard Gates, who really does live and breathe darts. He'll go and play wherever he can on whatever circuit.
100.
Mentioned all the titles that he's won in the WDF system.
$100.
22 in total. Those three big seniors titles where he's had the likes of Phil Taylor and Robert Thornton in the field.
174.
Fantastic 174 from Leonard.
$41. Leonard, you require 128.
Leonard Gates is the type of
98.
player who will go for the bullseye whenever he's presented with the chance. Comes from a background in soft tip where bullseye is much more utilised.
100. Leonard, you require 30.
He's chosen to split. That leaves double 12.
6.
Maybe he should
Brian,
have
you
been
require
aggressive, gone straight for it.
160. $40.
Only takes
Leonard,
a nibble out of the 160.
24.
Gates with another chance.
Third leg.
And this time
Leonard
he doesn't pass it up.
Fourth leg, it's Brian to throw first. Game on. $100. 123.
Pretty unwanted deflection.
$100. 100. 180.
Brian Corbett is here to play. He is not here to be the proverbial lamb to the slaughter.
60. Brian, you require 121. $85.
Nicely tidied up.
$100. Brian, you require 36. Game shot and a fourth leg.
Excellent
Brian
adjustment.
Corbett. Fifth leg, it's Leonard to throw first.
It's been good from the Kiwis so far. Been good from both players. Mid-90s averages.
100.
I suppose in Brian's mind, obviously I don't want to read his mind and predict what he's thinking, but
23.
he'll have known that raising his game was a must if he's to match Leonard Gates. It seems he's up for the challenge. But
140.
Leonard still has that presence. He has that aura of a man who knows how to win.
$25.
And scoring visits of 23 and 25 are not going to panic him. They'll panic Brian.
99.
Okay, just leave a bogey number. No biggie.
100.
When he doesn't have to think, and he does have to think now. Oh, Leonard, do not hit another one there.
117. $96.
When he can just go up
Leonard, you require
and throw
45.
darts at big trebles without having to think about setup shots, he is a dangerous talent.
29.
When the numbers come into the equation, that's where he can falter. That's where he's constantly glancing over to the scoreboard, looking to be reassured.
140. Leonard, you require 16.
Probably too little too late from Corbett, but at least he does get to a finish.
Game shot and the first
Certainly
set.
is too little too late.
Leonard Gates.
Leonard Gates wins
Second
the first set.
First leg, it's Brian to throw first. Game on. 13. 60.
Leonard doesn't really jump all over the visit of 13.
$60. 57. 60. 140.
Leonard still awaiting his first max. Being outshone by Brian in that particular stat.
85. 100. 96. Leonard, you require 144. 96. 99. Leonard, you require 48.
Does alternate between 16s and tops. And this time he chose tops.
28. Brian, you require
Comes up
88.
dry. It's only going to be one at the bull.
63. Leonard, you require 20.
First leg in this match where both players have had darts at a double.
Shot and a first leg. Leonard Gates.
But it is Leonard who prevails.
Second leg, it's Leonard to throw first. Game on.
Been in the UK for some weeks now. Having played in Modus last week. Decided that there was little point returning home to Houston, Texas.
60. 100. 41. 45.
There's no question that Brian's gone off the boil after what was a promising first set.
$60.
Looking to follow in the footsteps of Johnny Tarter. Secured a magnificent win against Sean McDonald to reach round 2. But he's got a very big task on his hands now.
$140. Leonard, you require 76.
Tops for Gates.
Game shot and a second leg. Leonard Gates.
He's been largely untroubled. It's 3
Third
legs
leg,
in a
it's
row.
Brian to throw first. Game on. 83. $100. $180.
Well, chipping away on the old maximums. That's 3 now.
$140.
Leonard Gates wants a slice of that action, but has to remain patient.
$78. $140. Brian, you require 160.
Potential 12 darter to win. And he will get the chance.
78. Leonard, you require 121.
It's been superb from Leonard Gates. Bullseye.
96.
Wires it.
Brian, you require 82.
That's the margin between a win and not winning.
62.
This could be the
Leonard,
last darts that Brian Corbett throws. Double 4.
21. Brian, you require 20.
It's 3 missed match darts.
What's that code, right? 15 scored.
Well, the referee, Garin, says
Leonard,
that
you
the
require 4.
last dart was illegal, so it doesn't count. Poor way for his game to end, if it does end. The wait goes on. Leonard drops the dart. Madhouse.
Game, shots.
And that's where he gets the win.
Leonard Gates.
Leonard Gates is a man who means business. He is a man on a mission. He is a winning machine. And he is looking to add the Lakeside WDF World Championship to his roll of honour. Brian Corbett came and impressed in patches, particularly with the heavy scoring, but ultimately Gates was far too strong. He will be a hugely tough task for John Scott in round 2. Leonard Gates has beaten Brian Corbett in straight sets, a 2-0 victory. Coming up next, we put our focus back on the women's side of the tournament. Nicole, another New Zealander, faces Sweden's Anna Forsmark.
This program is brought to you by Benji Marine Engine Repair and Trading. Specialized in Wärtsilä engines with a 24-hour-a-day, high-quality, worldwide service. And by Hemeco Storage Systems, your one-stop storage system solution with over 100 years of experience. The 45th annual Win More Fleetwood Memorial Las Vegas Open will be held from January 19th till the 21st. Sin City welcomes you to come and play in the entertainment capital of the world. Both men's and women's champions will win places at the 2024 WDF World Championships. The Romanian Darts Festival is from January the 26th till January the 28th. Come join the party in Bucharest. Register to play by Wednesday the 24th of January. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is held from February 1st till February 4th. Registration is open until January the 16th. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is by far the largest darts party in the world that you should not miss. And the men's and women's champions go to the Lakeside in December 2024. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 31st till June the 2nd. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in the most beautiful surroundings you'll find in Europe. The Swedish Open and Masters is held from August 16th till 18th. A popular tournament for many of Europe's best arrowsmiths. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thank you to our tournament sponsors Winmore, A&G Travel Group, iDarts, Dart Connect, CT1 and Quiff.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We now return to the women's competition here at the 2023 CT1 WDF Lakeside World Championship. And we welcome to the stage, first of all, a lady making her Lakeside World Championship debut, the former Riga Open, Budapest Masters and Budapest Classic champion, the reigning Catalonia and Faroe Island Open champion from Sweden, Anna Forsmark. Her opponent also makes her Lakeside World Championship debut, the former New Zealand Masters champion, reigning Alan King Memorial, Auckland Open and John Wilkie Memorial champion from New Zealand, Renegade Nicole Regnaud.
It's the final women's contest in round one of the 2023 WDF World Championship here from Lakeside. And it's a match between the very youthful 24-year-old Nicole Regnaud and Anna Forsmark, who's a lot more experienced at 50 years old. But there are parallels that can be drawn between both players. Both of them have won 10 titles. And particularly in Regnaud's case, it's a very impressive haul considering she's been playing darts for a relatively short period of time. First title success came back in 2021 and she's gone on from strength to strength. She was a beaten finalist in her last match, losing to Wendy Harper, who we are going to see this week. But she's been used to winning games, played in the WDF World Cup and unfortunately came across Bo Greaves in pretty excellent form. She averaged a ton in a 4-0 win. Anna Forsmark has had lots of success in Scandinavia. Another woman who came a cropper against Bo Greaves in the World Cup. But
game on.
She's a winner of the Catalonia Open in 2023. And this is for the right to play Eileen de Graaf, the second seed in round two of the competition. We've seen from Nicole's stats that
85.
She is capable of throwing decent averages. She can get herself in the 70s.
23.
And getting an average in that region is likely to be good enough at least to win the first round game. Best we've seen from a female player so far came from Paula Murphy yesterday, the American who beat
55.
Almudena Fajardo. Kirsty Hutchinson played well against Mayumi Uchi.
$59.
She's got loads of world flags around the bottom of her shirt.
83.
Looks more like World Cup bunting.
$60.
It's a very front-on stance that Anna's got. Reminds me a little bit of Simon Whitlock.
$135.
Not far off the game's first maximum.
$65. Nicole, you
Bullseye
require
ensures that she leaves a finish.
139.
This is one of the toughest in the sport. A real haymaker if she could land it, but treble one means she can't.
43. And then you require 150. $60. Nicole, you require 96.
Fortunate bounce out. I'm not
40.
entirely sure whether that was going to nestle
require 90.
in the treble 20. Treble 15. She's made a bit of a hash of this.
24. Nicole, you require 56.
Tops for the first leg.
46.
Double 10 proves elusive.
And then you require 66.
And that leaves double 12.
42. Nicole, you require 10.
Few early nerves here.
No score.
None
And
of
then you
those darts
require
particularly
24.
close to the target.
Games
That
of the
one is.
first leg, Anna Forsmark.
First blood to Anna Forsmark.
Second leg, it's Anna to
Taking
throw
the
first.
darts off
Game
Nicole.
on. $100.
Been playing darts quite a while now as Anna. Her first success on the WDF came in the 2011 Finnish Open, but most of her title haul has been in the last 2 years. A couple of titles in the Faroe Islands, one in Riga, one in Budapest, 2 in Budapest actually. She clearly found something in the past couple of years
100.
that she was missing before.
$60. $81. $45. $100.
Very good leg this from Anna.
$81, and you require 120.
Back up for treble 20 would leave double 18. and
84.
exactly what she does. Picks it off very well. Nicole struggling in these early stages.
41, and you require 36.
It's a big transformation playing on this sort of stage to what she's used to back in New Zealand and Australia.
$18.
That's better.
95, and they require 18. Games in the second leg, Anna Forsmark.
2-0 to Anna Forsmark.
Third leg, it's Nicole to throw first. Game on.
He's a current Sweden international as well.
41.
And I think that's probably what her very continental shirt represents. All the nations that competed
100
in the World Cup or European Cup.
$140.
Much better from Nicole. Nicknamed the Renegade.
140.
Which I suppose is better than some bad car-related pun.
$81. $100.
Averaging 76 is on it. And the stats I've got in front of me
161.
Doesn't necessarily record all her averages, but her average of all the games on this database suggests she's around about a 62 player.
26. Nicole
well outperforming himself.
140.
As I say that, she lands 26.
$45, and you require 135.
Nearly saw Suzanne Smith take this out to beat Victoria Monahan. Treble 20 still gives her a chance, but it's just above the wire.
63. Nicole, you require 95.
Nicole could start on the bull. No, she's going dead aggressive.
$76.
It looked like it took a big ricochet off the first start.
$52.
Set dart missed.
Nicole, you require 19.
Nicole has to split this, and it's a good confident dart right in the middle of the three.
Games
and that's right in the middle of double eight.
Regnaud.
She's off the mark.
Fourth leg, it's Anna to throw first. Game on. $100. $60. $100. $38. $62.
Well, Anna will be feeling especially comfortable now after those
23.
first 2 darts from Nicole, and the third one wasn't too much better.
$100. $55, and they require 139.
We've seen one attempt at this. This is a similar outcome for Anna.
45. $100, and they require 94.
Treble 18. That's not what she was after,
74.
but treble 17 makes up for it.
$100, and they require 20.
Back-to-back tons keep Nicole in touch.
No score.
And they
Nicole,
keep
you
Anna
require
under pressure.
125.
And she's felt that pressure. Leaves 71.
$113, and they require 20.
I think all our minds went blank then.
Game shot, the
Sixth
first
time
set.
of asking. Anna Forsmark gets the dart to win the set.
Second set, first leg, it's Anna to throw first. Game on.
We can see why Nicole went for the 18s on 125, because a single would still leave a 2-dart outshot, but always suggests that starting on the ball
41.
makes it much easier than having to finish on it. Not that she would have needed to, because she hit the treble. Still a more
40.
unorthodox way to try that particular outshot.
$95.
Well, she's been threatening it more. And Nicole does land the game's first maximum.
41. $100. $140.
Anna can't respond with a maximum of her own, but she's keeping herself in touch. Remember, she did start this leg.
57. $28. Nicole, you require 124.
That's not particularly helpful. Treble 18 would have left the bullseye. Not wanting
52.
to take any chances.
And they require 156.
Because Anna's capable.
$60. Nicole, you require 72.
Has to be 13 and Bull, surely. Bullseye is pinpoint.
The first leg, Nicole Regnaud.
Only needs one chance, and she
Second leg,
takes
it's
it.
Nicole to throw first. Game on.
And I think Bullseye checkouts in particular can lift the confidence so much.
60. $83. 60. 85.
45. Winner of this completes the lineup for round 2 of the Women's World Championship. Some really intriguing fixtures are to come. Bo Greaves against Lorraine Hyde is obviously going to be the headline maker, but I like the look of Lorraine Winstanley, Veronica Rehash. Lisa Ashton, see how she responds after her surgery.
180.
Maximums in back-to-back legs for Nicole.
Nicole, you require 156.
Finding her feet on the lakeside stage. $60. $100. Nicole, you require 96. $56. Anna, you require 113. It's a very frustrating visit.
Nicole, you require 40.
She can see the funny side at least.
Games on the second
Nicole's
leg.
all about
Nicole
business.
Regnaud. Third leg, it's Anna to throw first. Game on.
In a fantastic response this to losing the first set.
61. $85. $121. $41. $95.
Wouldn't wish to call which way this game's going.
59.
Both players have near identical averages.
$17.
Both have shown good scoring, but both have shown slackness. A little bit like that from Anna.
$81. 100. $60, and they require 107.
7 or 15. Oh, it's only just in the 7.
87.
Perhaps may have been slightly off-putting.
$83, and they require 20.
Can't afford to pass up too many more of these.
10. Nicole, you require 92.
Because Nicole has only needed 1 dart to win each of the last 2 legs. That's
52.
somehow
And they
didn't
require
clang into the
10.
treble.
No score.
Darting disaster for
Nicole,
Anna
you require
Forsmark.
40. Game 7, the second
Nicole
set.
Regnaud motors
Nicole
to
Regnaud.
a 3-0 set. The scoreline is 1 apiece.
Third set, first leg, it's Nicole to throw first. Game on. $81. $80.
Must have been a dozen of those bounce outs today at least. Make that a baker's dozen.
80. $68.
Max would leave a finish.
125.
Nicole Regnaud has shown she's got scoring power.
41. $59.
Anna's just slightly started to wilt.
45. Nicole, you require 156. $60. $41. Nicole, you require 96.
Well, it's looking like Nicole can put the shades on and cruise towards the advantage in this set.
$56.
Or can she?
125.
Maybe not still.
Nicole, you require 40.
Done well on top
Game
still.
seven, the first leg, Nicole Regnaud. Second
3
leg,
legs in a
it's
row,
Anna
she's
to
won
throw first.
at the top of the
Game
board.
on.
The problem for Anna right now is she's not giving
60.
herself enough opportunities. He's only had darts at a double in one of the last 4 legs.
$41. $60. $60. $60.
Looks to switch.
43.
She does look remarkably composed, does Nicole Regnaud. Up there chewing a gum in almost a school kid manner.
100.
Without a care in the world. For once, it's a tournament where there's no huge expectation placed upon her.
140.
She can go up and have fun.
$40. $60.
Big visit needed from Anna.
97. Nicole, you require 157.
It's not bad.
$45. And you require 84.
Double 12.
Game set
He's
the
found
second
after
leg.
the first dart.
And a Forsmark. Third leg, it's Nicole to throw first.
Very, very
Game
efficient.
on.
The biggest checkout of the match.
$100. $121.
Bit of defiance from Anna there. Giving it a big come on to the board.
60. $60. $60. $30. $60. $28.
Well, the wheels aren't fully coming off for Anna, but the nuts and bolts are beginning to loosen.
41. $30.
£88 points scored in the last 9 darts. What a great sign no luck whatsoever.
80.
Because that looked to be going plumb in the treble 20. It would have left tops a favourite double. On the basis of this game, at least.
26. Nicole, you require 100. $60.
I think she was trying to give herself the best guide for tops there.
22. Nicole, you require 40.
Things really have gone pear-shaped for Anna.
Game from the third leg, Nicole Regnaud.
He's one leg
Fourth
away.
leg, it's Anna to throw first. Game on.
Anna has to try and regroup. And once again, the darts are going to the right and to the left. That's
121.
better. That's what she desperately needed.
$100. $41. $60. $62.
Nicole's just looking more likely to be consistent.
60.
Even though it's a treble-less visit, you just get the feeling she's a bit more in control. Too many of those darts. The first one from Anna.
55. $100. $42.
One of these women is going to have a disappointing World Championship debut, and it's looking increasingly like Anna Forsmark will suffer. And there we see again, darting a long way away from the target.
77.
Rescued it.
Nicole
okay enough.
121.
That was brave. Hasn't worked out for her.
29.
The decision made to
103.
start the visit on the bull rather than have to end it.
$61. Nicole, you require 92.
That's one to forget.
$52.
Tees at
Anna,
tops for the match.
42.
Unless Anna can take us to a decider. She's only going to get one go if she stays straight, which she does at double 12. Anna Forsmark cannot save herself.
Nicole, you require
She
40.
has to rely on mistakes from Nicole Regnaud. The young Kiwi looking for a win at Lakeside. And she gets it.
Shot and the match.
She will
Nicole
be so grateful to that
Regnaud.
tops bed on the conclusion of this game. It all started so well for Anna Forsmark, but Nicole Won 6 of the last 7 legs. That equates to 2 sets. 5 of those legs being won on tops. Anna just faltered too much towards the end. Her World Championship comes to an end. Nicole's goes on into round 2, where she will face Eileen de Graaf, the number 2 seed. Coming up next, you can see on the screen now, it is England versus the Netherlands. Anthony Allen against Denny Oldekalter.
This program is brought to you by Benji Marine Engine Repair and Trading, specialized in Wärtsilä engines with a 24-hour-a-day, high-quality, worldwide service. And by Hemeco Storage Systems, your one-stop storage system solution with over 100 years of experience. The 45th annual Win More Fleetwood Memorial Las Vegas Open will be held from January 19th till the 21st. Sin City welcomes you to come and play in the entertainment capital of the world. Both men's and women's champions will win places at the 2024 WDF World Championships. The Romanian Darts Festival is from January the 26th till January the 28th. Come join the party in Bucharest. Register to play by Wednesday the 24th of January. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is held from February 1st till February 4th. Registration is open until January the 16th. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is by far the largest darts party in the world that you should not miss. And the men's and women's champions go to the Lakeside in December 2024. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 31st till June the 2nd. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in the most beautiful surroundings you'll find in Europe. The Swedish Open and Masters is held from August 16th till 18th. A popular tournament for many of Europe's best aerosmiths. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thank you to our tournament sponsors Win More, A&G Travel Group, iDarts, Dart Connect, CT1 and Quiff.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now return to the men's competition here at the 2023 CT1 WDF Lakeside World Championship. This is the home of World Darts. This is Lakeside! We introduce a man making his Lakeside World Championship debut, a former Belfry Open and Swiss Open finalist, the former British Classic and Swedish Masters champion from the Netherlands, Denny Alde Coulter. His opponent is a Northern Ireland Open and Scottish Open quarter-finalist. This year's Welsh Classic finalist from England, Shaggy Anthony Allen.
Penultimate game of the evening then. The penultimate first round game in the 2023 Lakeside World Darts Federation World Championship. And it is Anthony Allen of England hoping to prove himself to be the best around against Denny Alde Coulter. With a very typically Dutch walk-on, I've got to say. Something about that nation and their love of hardcore techno music. Anthony Allen is someone who has been part of the WDF furniture for quite a long time now. Still looking for a first big title. Reached the final of the Welsh Classic back in May. Since then, the form hasn't been too great. He's only reached one quarter-final in his last 6 tournaments. He actually came to the World Championship last year to make his debut as one of the seeded players, but he lost out to Jared Cole in straight sets. Only averaged 76 in the process. He's playing a man making his World Championship bow in Denny Alde Coulter. Hasn't played a great deal on the WDF circuit in the past 12 months. He did get to the quarterfinals of the Dutch Open, which, as fans of the WDF,
first set, first leg,
is
it's Anthony
contested by
first.
a small town's worth of dart players. So to come in the final 8 is certainly no mean feat. He was beaten by the #1 seed for this tournament, Andy Bartons. He's tended to stick to the Challenge Tour this year. Anthony Allen wanting to stick to treble 20. It's a pretty good start from the man they call Shaggy, which is slightly ironic given that he's Not closely cropped hair on the sides.
85.
Even though he comes into this game as the more experienced player, I'd probably say he comes in as the slight underdog as well. Danny Calter, as mentioned, has preferred to focus his efforts on the Challenge Tour, and as well as that, the Modus Super Series. Played a week there in August and got to the semi-finals on Saturday before being beaten by a very impressive Daryl Pilgrim. Still a tough one to call, though.
85.
Calter does have the advantage of winning silverware. British Classic winner in 2019, and then he won the Swedish Masters
65.
last year. And guess who that was against? The man he's playing right now.
140. Anthony Unicorn, 170.
Fourth meeting between the two of them, and it is Denny that has the
85.
advantage. But Anthony did win the most recent meeting in Czechia last year, last 16 of the Czech Open. Calter is going to have first poke at tops. He despises the way those darts have landed. Very, very upright angle.
40. Anthony Unicorn, 85.
Well, that nearly hit the tyre then. Double 10.
65.
I don't think Anthony's too fond of that either.
Danny Unicorn, 40. That's been short in the first leg.
Denny has just turned round and said to Anthony Allen, that's how you get double 10.
Game on.
And that is how you get a break of throw as well. $17 darter to kick things off. Second to last match of the evening. We've got a very significant one coming next for all sorts of reasons. Thomas Junghans, he's the first Swiss player to play in this tournament. David Pallett, he's playing on the same day that he's become a dad.
40.
He's on his way down to Lakeside from Coventry. As we speak, he might even be here now. Sure, he'll be bolting down the M1 and
40.
M25, M3 as quickly as he can. Within legal regulations, of course.
60.
Both players suffering from bounce-outs early on, which has been a bit of a running theme, sadly, in the tournament thus far. Dare say that was a bit of an expletive that came out of Denny's mouth.
117.
That was just inaudible yelp. Never known someone celebrate 117 with such pomp. Scott Mitchell said on comms last night, you don't sharpen your points, you're liable to get bounce outs. I think there's a fair few players need to take up that advice.
$92. Anthony Unicorn, 142. $100. Danny Unicorn, 90.
Well, he made that so difficult for himself by failing to keep straight.
42.
To break back then, double 16.
And that's been shot in the second bar.
There he gets it.
Anthony Young. Third leg, it's Anthony to throw first. Game on.
Only managed to win 2 legs last year against Jared Cole. Really disappointing display from Anthony.
81.
And that lack of real form has seen him drop out of the seed
93.
positions.
$95. 58. 81. 140.
He's a Challenge Tour finalist, Denny Calter. That came last year, and it came against man who we're going to see next in David Pallett.
34.
It's a small world, this darts business.
96. Anthony, you require 110.
Cross for treble 18, which leaves double 18.
74. Denny, you require 114. Anthony, you require 36.
Great guide. And it's used to perfection.
In the third leg. Anthony, forward leg, it's Denny to throw first. Keep on. 93. 60. 100. 121. 94. 80.
Unfortunately for Anthony, point didn't touch the board, so it registers no points.
140. 85. Danny, you require 74.
Frustration for Anthony. Couldn't follow the lovely first start.
And that's came short in the fourth line. Denny Calter.
And Denny Calter quite literally doesn't need any second invitation at double 16.
Game on.
Nice pace about this
45.
game. Both players who, well, maybe not being in the Danny Lauby, Chris Landman stratosphere of speed.
100.
Like to get on with things.
16. 140. 100. 140. 16. 58.
Probably down for treble 19.
139.
It's a great shot, and it's against the darts.
140.
Anthony responds.
62.
But how much will it ultimately mean?
$46. Anthony Unicorn,
Well, for now,
98.
the answer is maybe something. Double 19, takes a pause. Got the option of splitting, which he goes for.
17.
Double 14 is missed.
Danny Unicorn, 16.
Not entirely sure whether he wanted 10. I think he'll have wanted 6 to leave double 16.
Yeah, this came short in the first
But it's
set.
academic because Denny
Oldecoulter.
Oldecoulter takes the first set. The players just having a laugh and a joke,
Second
sharing
set,
a
first
fist bump.
leg is Danny to throw first. Game on.
I think they both realise that this is good competition.
16. 85.
Been a bit of a tendency that for Anthony Allen. Third dart in particular going astray.
16. 100.
Can confirm, by the way, that David Pallett is in the building because he's won the bullseye. He'll go first against Thomas Junghans. Made it safely down. What could be a very emotional day for him.
57.
Winner here faces the actually experienced Darren Johnson, who's
16.
not only impressed on the WDF stage, he's also impressed on the seniors stage.
Anthony Unicorn, 156. 60. Danny Unicorn, 164. 98. Anthony Unicorn, 96.
Just underneath that, not that far.
56. Danny Unicorn, 66.
It should be one, it could be two. Probably is going to be one. At double 18.
13. Anthony Unicorn, 14. That's been short in the first
Anthony
leg.
Allen wins the first leg of this set two.
Second leg is Anthony to throw first. Game on. 60. 133. 100. 58. 100. 140. 97. Denny Require 170.
The biggest finish of them all. Hasn't really been troubled yet
90.
this week.
Anthony Require 144.
144, not severely troubled
Denny
either.
Require 80.
Sure, Denny Coulter wants to leave 80 as little as possible. I've never seen someone grimace so much. The way their darts behave.
14.
Not sure the camera could reach. He was stood that far away.
Anthony Unicorn 86.
Could still do it. Treble 14 or treble 18. Single 11 is not part of that equation.
27.
Very messy.
Danny Unicorn 14. That's came short in the second line. Danny Coulter.
Danny Coulter
Third
breaks
leg, it's
straight
Danny
back.
to throw first. Game on. $96.
Take a photo of that. That is a proper Robin Hood. He's still staying up there.
35.
Risky business. Don't know whether that stem might need chucking.
100.
In the bin, not at the board. I think that's what Anthony's doing, just repairing the dart.
$128.
You don't see that called out back-to-back too often.
97.
Oh, look what he's left. Are we going to see his face
36.
screwed up anymore?
Danny Unicorn 18.
We're going to see him shuffle again.
16. 100.
Nearly half the score, but
20.
feel this leg is in the pocket of Denny Aldi-Coulter. Needs to retain that composure, which he does.
Denny Aldi-Coulter.
One leg away from the passage into round 2.
Forward leg, it's Anthony to throw first. Game on. .45. $140. 60.
Well, right now, Shaggy hasn't got a Scooby-Doo how to deal with this threat from Denny Aldi-Coulter. Dutchman, I think, was distracted by something
100.
called out from the crowd.
$100. 100.
Doesn't like that. Easy to see why.
121. Denny require 161.
Does his best to salvage a bad situation, but well, I can't be certain where he was going
80.
with that.
$85. Danny Unicorn, 81.
Treble 19. 12 or treble. That leaves the bullseye for the match. Denny Aldi-Coulter is into round 2.
Denny Aldi-Coulter.
It is a successful World Championship debut for the Dutchman. Overcomes Anthony Allen, who just lost his way in that second set. Didn't get close enough to Aldi-Coulter. Two players magnanimous with each other. Aldi-Coulter magnanimous in victory. Anthony Allen, spirited performance. A match played in high spirits. But he departs for the second year in a row in the first match that he plays. Aldi-Coulter will get a meeting with Darren Johnson as a reward. Next up, we have got our final game of the evening session, the final round 1 match between Swiss debutant Thomas Junghans and the new daddy in the building, David Pallett.
This program is brought to you by Benji Marine Engine Repair and Trading, specialized in Wärtsilä engines with a 24-hour-a-day, high-quality, worldwide service. And by Hemeco Storage Systems, your one-stop storage system solution with over 100 years of experience. The 45th annual Win More Fleetwood Memorial Las Vegas Open will be held from January 19th till the 21st. Sin City welcomes you to come and play in the entertainment capital of the world. Both men's and women's champions will win places at the 2024 WDF World Championships. The Romanian Darts Festival is from January the 26th till January the 28th. Come join the party in Bucharest. Register to play by Wednesday the 24th of January. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is held from February 1st till February 4th. Registration is open until January the 16th. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is by far the largest darts party in the world that you should not miss. And the men's and women's champions go to the Lakeside in December 2024. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 31st till June the 2nd. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in the most beautiful surroundings you'll find in Europe. The Swedish Open and Masters is held from August 16th till 18th, a popular tournament for many of Europe's best aerosmiths. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thank you to our tournament sponsors Winmore, A&G Travel Group, iDarts, Dart Connect, CT1 and Quiff.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to close out day two here at the 2023 CT1 WDF Lakeside World Championship. And we welcome to the stage, first of all, a man making his Lakeside World Championship debut. Winner on the Challenge Tour last year, he is the reigning England Open champion from England, David Pallett. His opponent also makes his debut here at the Lakeside. The reigning Cyprus Classic, Cyprus Masters and Swedish Open champion from Switzerland, Thomas Junghans.
Round one will be drawn to a conclusion after this contest between Thomas Junghans of Switzerland and the Englishman David Pallett. There is good news and bad news. We'll start with the good news, and we'll start with Thomas Junghans, the first Swiss player to ever take part in a Lakeside World Championship, and that comes on the back of a stellar year on the WDF Tour, winning no less than 4 finals: Swedish Open, Riga Open, Cyprus Classic and Cyprus Masters. The good news for David Pallett transcends darts. He's become a dad today. He dashed back home to Coventry after his wife went into labour, giving birth to a baby girl, and he's been able to come down and join the party. He is a player of immense ability, England Open winner, and then on the PDC he's reached the semi-finals of the UK Open. He's been a Euro Tour semi-finalist. Now this is where the bad news comes in. David Pallett has not played a competitive game of professional darts since January, since he competed at Q School. He's had a few personal issues to deal with and a battle with the dreaded D word in darts.
First leg, it's Thomas to throw first.
Has been playing
to throw first.
Little bits of local league. Just got to see if he's been affected by it. Not used to playing big competitions in recent times. He's a player who comes to this tournament perhaps with a bit of rust that he needs to shake off.
92.
We've got a bit of late night Nick on the microphone. Mr. Rolls donning the tuxedo for the last game of the night.
83.
You can't blame David Pallett if his head maybe is all over the place. It's been an absolute whirlwind of a day for him.
$56.
And I'm sure people watching this will be looking at the Pallett action, examining it, seeing if there are any big issues to deal with.
140.
See, there is a little bit of a pause just before he releases. It's not too dissimilar to what we saw from Suzanne Smith earlier on. Now, she ultimately won her game against Victoria Monahan. And that was a real scrappy affair. I don't think Junghans will offer Pallett too many chances. If David does struggle, see, there's a little bit of hesitancy in the way that he's letting go of the dart.
42.
Thomas has just got to do a professional job, though. Can't be distracted by what's in front of him. Just got to play his own game.
43.
Inauspicious start from both players.
$47. Thomas, you require 147.
Did win the bullseye in the back room, Pallett, which I suppose will have just lifted him ever so slightly. It shouldn't be too big a thing,
43.
But does give him at least the knowledge that if we do go to a decider, the darts will be his to start with.
$71. Thomas, you require 104.
Has that blocked the treble 16? No, it hasn't. He finds it. Junghans wants tops.
84. David, you require 106. $41. Thomas, you
not
require
great.
20.
That's 4 missed chances.
No score. David, you require 65.
Double 16.
49. Thomas, you require 20. Game shot and the
Fifth
first
time of
leg.
asking.
Thomas
Junghans finds
Second
the desired
leg is
double.
Thomas to throw first. Game on.
There are shouts of "Come on, David" from the crowd. I think they're getting behind their man. Word has gone round about the
42.
situation with his newborn. It'd be a popular
60.
victory in Lakeside if he was able to get the job done, but the early signs aren't too good.
$140.
That's better.
140.
Well, as the first start went in, I think he was just confident enough that it was such a good lie. He didn't even need to think about the release point. It just
99.
came naturally.
$99. $100. $128.
Really
Thomas,
shone
you
on the
require
challenge tour last year, did
120.
Pallett. Won a title against Daniel de Colter, who we've just seen win his first round match. And he did well enough to the point where he was given an invitation to the UK Open as one of the highest performing challenge tour players, but opted not to take it up because he had to sort
88.
issues out in his personal
David,
life.
you require 74.
It's a dart to get that level.
66.
Double 16 and
Thomas,
double
you
8, not
require
his
32.
friend.
Game shot and the second leg. Thomas
Double
Junghans.
16 is nailed by
Third leg is
Junghans.
David to throw first. Game on.
Spoken about Hungary as an emerging darting nation.
56.
We can put Switzerland in that bracket as well. They are beginning to produce some real top players. Junghans one of them, and then you've got Stefan Belmont, Marcel Walton
26.
plays a big part in the WDF circuit in Europe, and next year on the PDC. First European tour is going to take place. That'll be in Basel next autumn.
$42. $60. $59. $100.
Still got that ability to keep them straight, but you can tell by watching the action, he's just not able to release them when he wants to. His body is stopping him.
100.
That's one of the horrible things about dartitis. You almost know what you need to do, but you physically can't.
$58.
Can take positives from the fact that he has at least had doubles in both legs. He could be 2-0 up.
134. $56. Thomas, you require 140.
It's going to be nice.
60. David, you require 127.
Treble 19. Would have left the bullseye.
59. Thomas, you require 80.
Topped for Junghans.
40. David, you require 68.
Passes up the chance to win the first set with 3 successive legs. Pallett's going to get one dart, and it is at tops.
Game
and it is
shot
a leg on the board.
the third leg, David Pallett. Fourth leg, it's Thomas to throw first. Game on.
That should settle him down. It should maybe relax him.
$100. $58. $180.
Thomas Junghans showing what he can do in the scoring department. And Pallett says, I'll have a bit of it as well.
180.
It's amazing how often darts players can egg each other on.
57. $93. Thomas, you require 164.
Both down to big finishes.
$58. David, you require 170.
Junghans doesn't even get one treble.
$89. Thomas, you require
Neither does Pallett, but he
106.
trims it down better than Junghans did.
$98. David, you require 81.
12 or treble. Oh, that's a bad miss.
41. Thomas, you require 8.
For the set. Not
4.
yet.
David, you require 40.
Thomas Junghans really should be away in the distance.
$20.
He's going to get
Thomas,
another chance.
You require 4.
How much can he see? Probably not much.
2. David, you require 20.
Double 10 for Dave.
Game
Finally
shot
lands
on
it.
the 4th leg. David Pallett.
It was 5 missed darts apiece at a double before Pallett used the last dart to
5th
perfection.
leg, it's David to throw first. Game on.
Never historically been a shrinking violet on stage, David Pallett.
43.
Remember once at Alexandra Palace, he hit a massive 1-6-1 outshot against Adrian Lewis back when he was at the absolute peak of his powers. Gave it a bit of peacockery. A round of applause from Lewis. And then lost 3-0. However, times have changed and perhaps confidence is a little bit fragile in Pallett's mind.
62.
Second match of the game from Junghans. And the last time he did that, Pallett followed up immediately with one of his own.
43.
Not this time. Instead,
$171.
well, it's a virtual maximum. It's 3 big trebles. It's 50 after 9.
100.
Does he
Thomas,
dare go
you
straight for
require
the bull?
50.
Do you dare, Thomas? No. But
Game
an 11
shot.
darter is
And
a
the
fine
first set,
piece of work.
Thomas Junghans.
And Thomas Junghans finally shows the crowd what he's all about.
Second set, first leg, it's Thomas to throw first.
Finally shows
Game
the Lakeside
on.
faithful why he has won so many tournaments this year.
$81. $100. $59. $100. $41.
Real chance now for Pallett to jump all over. Would have been 3 pretty poor visits from Junghans.
83. $58. $41.
Still in command of this leg, the Englishman. Just stretching the arm, loosening it.
$58.
Been feast or famine really from Thomas.
99.
2 180s, a 171. Yet he's only averaging 76.
$140. David, you require
Maybe not
78.
a feast, but 140 is a square meal shot, we'll call it. Treble 14.
18. Thomas, you
right
require
racket.
64.
Bouncing off the wire. Double 8 now for Junghans.
$48. David, you require 60.
Crowd really willing Pallett on.
40.
But he can't deliver for them.
Thomas, you require 16. Game short, and the first
Junghans
leg.
can.
Thomas Junghans. The second leg, it's David to throw first. Game on. $56.
Yeah, he's clearly struggling. Just that inability to release the dart when he wants to. At exactly the right split second.
140. $98.
And there you could see him lunge forward a little bit.
$140.
Back-to-back 140s. Oh, the man from Switzerland.
$100. $41. $96.
Pallett gets to a finish first, but the way he's been playing wouldn't necessarily back him. You would back Junghans. Don't bust. Oh, do that instead.
156.
Seen Moreno
David, you
Blonde do
require
that today.
151.
Pallett, is he about to prove me wrong? Not quite.
91. Thomas, you require 24.
Cross to double 6. And he
Game
lands it.
short and the second leg. Thomas Junghans.
Thomas
Third
Junghans
leg,
one
it's
leg
Thomas
away
to throw
from a
first.
place in round
Game
2.
on.
Where the winner will take on the number 10 seed, Hong Kong's Kai Fan Luo. Who, like Pallett, is a former PDC tour card holder.
180.
Hat-trick of 180s for Junghans.
$95.
That game will take place on Wednesday afternoon session. And it's looking like Thomas Junghans is going to be the participant.
$25.
Everyone sees the funny side, maybe except David Pallett.
$39. $180.
Firing on all cylinders, charging towards the finish line.
57. Thomas, you require 116.
David Pallett looks like he's run out of steam prematurely. Tops for the match.
96.
He's going to be back for more. Another treble leaves the big fish.
140. Thomas, you require
a
20.
micron of an opportunity for Pallett awaits if Junghans misses,
shot,
which he doesn't.
And the match.
And
Thomas
that
Junghans
is a brutal job on a man who's had quite a day in his life. David Pallett becoming a dad today to a baby daughter, but on the hockey, the struggles really continue. A man who came into this tournament very rusty, having played a relatively few amount of darts during the calendar year. Hopefully he'll be back. Hopefully those dartitis issues will be gotten rid of, because he is a fine talent, David Pallett. But so is Thomas Junghans. 4 180s in a 2-0 demolition job of David Pallett. Junghans goes through to round 2.
This program is brought to you by Benji Marine Engine Repair and Trading, specialized in Wärtsilä engines with a 24-hour-a-day, high-quality, worldwide service. And by Hemeco Storage Systems, your one-stop storage system solution with over 100 years of experience. The 45th annual Win More Fleetwood Memorial Las Vegas Open will be held from January 19th till the 21st. Sin City welcomes you to come and play in the entertainment capital of the world. Both men's and women's champions will win places at the 2024 WDF World Championships. The Romanian Darts Festival is from January the 26th till January the 28th. Come join the party in Bucharest. Register to play by Wednesday the 24th of January. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is held from February 1st till February 4th. Registration is open until January the 16th. The Toto Dutch Open Darts is by far the largest darts party in the world that you should not miss. And the men's and women's champions go to the lakeside in December 2024. The Swiss Open and Helvetia Open tournaments are held from May 31st till June the 2nd. One of the longest running tournaments in Europe invites you to join them in the most beautiful surroundings you'll find in Europe. The Swedish Open and Masters is held from August 16th till 18th, a popular tournament for many of Europe's best aerosmiths. For more information on each of these tournaments, go to the link in the description. A special thank you to our tournament sponsors Winmore, A&G Travel Group, iDarts, Dart Connect, CT1 and Quiff.